So this week we're going to answer this question, which I thought was kind of interesting. It says, everyone needs to do one unique thing that shows leadership to stand out in order to get into a good university. For example, building an app, which by the way is a terrible example, I'll tell you one. And then the question is, what are some suggestions for good leadership projects? So first off, building an app is not an example of leadership. It can be an avenue for you to express leadership, but building an app itself is not an example of leadership. And for you to understand what are good things that you can do in order for you to show to the university you have some leadership skill, is to ask yourself this question, which I'm going to ask it to everyone. Participate that in the chat is, what do you think is leadership? What do you think is leadership? Just type it on the chat. The act of being a leader, being a role model, being cool, leading, okay, taking responsibility. Okay, maybe a more specific questions to you is, which I'm sure you guys have this, everybody has this experience of somebody you're willing to look up to or follow. Why do you look up to that person? Why are you willing to follow that person? What makes you look up to this particular person as someone who's like, oh, I really respect or I idolize? Because you can trust them, wise. All right. So it's very interesting, right? So you're saying a lot of things. You can say that maybe you don't understand, okay, reputation, sure, they have more knowledge. Knowledgeable is one thing. You can trust. Trust is important. We talked about that last week, so I don't need to repeat that. But if you look at the qualities, maybe you guys haven't really think about it, but if you sit down and think about it and you look at the qualities that you think somebody is good at or you're willing to let somebody lead you, those qualities have nothing to do with title, right? You can have a title of team project lead, which I think in school you have a lot of experience of, but it doesn't really, you have equal amount of experience saying that this lead is terrible. This person sucks, right? We don't want to listen to him or listen to her, right? So if you were to sit down and really think about what makes a good leader, I think you'll come to realize that first of all, it has nothing to do with title. Second of all, a lot has to do with certain characteristics, right? So they're knowledgeable, they're able to make good decisions, they care for you, they take responsibility, some of you mentioned that, and they show respect for the team, right? They're able to communicate clearly, some different all these different other qualities. So I think it's a good time for you to learn to separate these things, because right now you're at an age whereby title doesn't mean anything to you yet. You haven't gone to work, all these things don't. And the problem with people learning leadership what leadership means at a later stage is that you cannot separate the difference between title and leadership as a skill or as a quality. And people get confused with that. So it's good that you're asking this question now and you're learning about that. Then you understand what it means to lead. Because true leadership is to learn how to lead without powers, without a title, which means that I don't give you specific powers to lead. True leadership is about being able to lead a group of people when you don't have any title, right? So you want to think about the qualities. Right? Sit down to answer the question, what are some suggestions for good leadership project? Is to think about the qualities that you would follow, someone that you look up to, is like you follow, why, right? They have great skills. It could be a singer that you follow because they have great skills, great performance skills, entertaining, which means charisma, that is charisma, right? It could be a teacher, very knowledgeable, very wise, give you knowledge. It could be your parents. They make good decisions. They make sure that, you don't go hungry, right? Make good financial decision. Which means they take care of you. So understand these qualities then what the university is asking about, or in the future, what your job it will ask you about is, tell me a time where you show these qualities, right? So that's why I say that making an app itself is not a show of leadership, but it's an avenue. What did you do while you make an app? What sort of decisions you have to make? What sort of challenges that your team has to go through that you show these leadership qualities? Remember, good leadership qualities are sort of exercise, are sort of displayed through trials and challenges. That is why when I say at the end of the first project, I say Team 9 in the long run is going to succeed a lot better, because those teams or other teams similar, because those teams who learn how to recover from challenges know how to recover from the next challenges and next challenge, so forth, so forth. But if you're always smooth sailing, it's great, nothing's bad about it, then you never got a chance to learn how to recover. So leadership skills, remember, is that it's done through challenges. And second is that you can call yourself whatever you want, right? It's like, I'm a charismatic person, I'm a person who takes responsibility, I'm a person who takes ownership, blah, 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 blah. If the push comes to shove, when you're really being asked to take ownership, to say, hey, take responsibility for the failures, those will be the real test of qualities, right? So it's not a lip service that you pay to just say, I'm so-and-so, this is how I show it. The real test is when you are actually doing it, right? So that's why there's a good saying that says, don't listen to what they say, look at what they do. Because that is where you understand values, you understand leadership qualities. So if you want a tip, what I do when I interview at companies is they always say, oh, we have these values, we care about the technology, we care about the people, we're a family. The question I always ask them, whether it's to a university, to a place I'm applying to, or to a job, is when is the last time those values are being tested? You can ask them that question. If they can't answer you, and you can then dive deep into that, okay, tell me more about the situation. Tell me. If you can't answer that, then you know this place is full of crap, right? They're just saying to attract you. And it's the same as when you are from a university position interviewing an applicant like yourself trying to enter the university. That's the same questions they will ask to test whether you really show these leadership quality or not, right? So very simple question. Also something that you have to think about before you actually put it in your application. They are basically qualities, characters and values, right? And what sort of values do you hold? At the end of the day, that's the question. And how do you prove that? And that's what you want to put it into a university application.